Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, welcome to the Commonwealth cabin. So I've got a little bit of a different show today. I also have a little bit of a voice problem. And I want to give you a little bit of a taste of something that I'm not an expert in, which is toys. I love to sell toys. I love to sell plush. You see it. But I see somebody on Instagram, occasionally on TikTok, that is killing it with toys. And I want to give you a little bit of an insight into some newer toys and some other things out there that are bolos that I think you guys would benefit from. Take a look. All right, y'all, I have Shae from MD Picker right here on YouTube. Also on, well, you're going to give yourself a shout out here. Where are you at?
TikTok. Instagram.
And Instagram. Yeah. All right. And soon to be Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Shae does mostly toys. And I brought her here so she can answer some questions that I have, but also give you guys some insight on some toys. And I've got a pressing question that I haven't told her about that I'm going to ask her about later. Now she's getting nervous because I get a little jealous. You know, when I think I've introduced something to the community and then I see somebody else selling it, I always have to know if they got it from me or if they came up with it themselves. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions today, and hopefully you can help our viewers learn a little something about toys and teach me something along the way too. First question is just about you. How long have you been reselling?
I just hit a year in March.
Just hit a year in March.
Yeah, just hit a year in March.
I gotta tell people out there, it's raining. Y'all might hear the rain on the top of the roof. So, all right, so 1 year in, 1 year in, are you excited about it? Do you think it's going the right direction? Do you want to get outside of your niche? Or are you sticking with toys? Where do you think you're gonna be a year from now?
No, I think I'm gonna stick with my niche.
You like it. So toys are what you like to sell.
Toys are, yeah. It's makes reselling fun for me.
Okay, that's what you do. Yes. So I say all the time, you see all these shoes back there, y'all? I tell you, I don't like to sell shoes and then I go out and buy all these shoes. I'm gonna make a whole ton of money on those shoes, but I don't like it. So you're the same way, right? So if I gave you an item that you could make 20 bucks on, but it was, you know, a pair of shoes, you'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
But you'd rather make 10.50 on a toy? All right, good. I love that. So a lot of people are like that out there. You gotta pick what you love. You gotta sell what you love. Do you have a death pile?
Yes.
Okay, so that's probably not things you love, right?
Yeah.
So which is why it's good to stick to that niche. Next question, where do you source most of the time? Do you source at thrift stores? Do you thrift? Do you source at garage sales? Where do you source it?
Summertime, it's yard sales. And then right now I have a honey hole.
You got a honey hole.
I have a honey hole.
And you're going to expose that in this show, right? At the end of the video?
There's no secrets in reselling.
Come on. And you just tell me secretly and then I won't post it in the description below. You're in Maryland, obviously, y'all. You see the shirt and the channel. I like that.
So where we're at, there's about 5 Goodwills that we can go to. But in order to actually properly source what I'm looking for, I have to go about an hour in any direction.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
wow, that's pretty good. Matter of fact, this is totally off topic, but I saw somebody today out yard selling who niches down into toys, but more specifically niches down into toys from the 60s to the 80s. And that's all they source. But they make a lot of money because they know everything about everything. Where if you watch me, I know a little bit about everything. And but I'm certainly, you know, I'm not a master of any of these things. But I would consider you, from what I see, to be a master, at least the beginning stages of a master of toys.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to say I'm an enthusiast.
All right. I like that. I like that. All right. One more related question, and then we'll move on here. Where do you sell your toys?
I started on Mercari.
Okay. Start on Mercari.
I started Mercari a year ago, and then this past January, I just started into eBay.
Okay. And you made the decision to do Mercari first. Why?
Because it wasn't as intimidating as
No,
eBay.
it wasn't intimidating. Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
And then moved to eBay.
Yes.
And I'm going to come back to that question at the end. But I want to get into toys because that's what this video is about, because I want to learn toys. So look around here, y'all. You see all my stuff, you know. Most of it's like the 80s and the 90s. But she sells stuff getting into the 2000s as well. Okay, so if you watch my show at all, you'll know I love to sell things from the 1980s. You got, you know, Care Bears. I even like to sell Cabbage Patch Kids, even though I didn't play with them. Or old He-Man figures or stuff, even though that's not old. Or, you know, different stuff that you see me sell all the time. But I'm a little bit older. I'm a lot older than Shae. So what were some of the things that you played when you were a little girl?
Polly Pockets.
Polly Pockets.
Yes.
We
Polly
just
Pockets.
sold. Let me tell you, my wife bought some great Polly Pockets. All right, go ahead.
No, Polly Pockets and Barbies were big for me.
So you did Barbies.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of stuff you like to sell now?
Not necessarily.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to sell?
Action figures.
Action figures.
Yeah.
All right, give me some examples.
What do I sell? A lot of Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers are big.
Okay.
X-Men.
X-Men. Okay.
That's another big one. And a lot of Marvel stuff now.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Like what kind of Marvel stuff? Like you don't care in the package, out of the package.
A lot of it's loose. I don't
Okay.
find a lot of new stuff in package.
Okay. Are you selling mostly late 90s, early 2000s? Are you doing anything, everything? What do you come across?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So let's talk. I really want to know because I like this older stuff, but I see you selling things that I'm somewhat familiar with, but I just can't quite, like if I'm out at a garage sale, I just don't quite grab it because I don't know enough. But I see you grabbing stuff and I'm like, man, she's making a lot of money on that. So can you give me kind of one of those signature items that you've been selling lately that have been doing really well for you?
Oh, I've become known for my Octonauts.
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 All right, so I'm going to put a picture. I've never sold an Octonaut. I'm going to put a picture of one right here in the video. And is there like a super like Bolo Octonaut out there? Is there one to look for? Is it just something in general?
No, it's just Octonauts in general. If you can find the ships, that you will make more money on those.
Okay.
But they go by different names. Like it's like Gup B, Gup C. There's a whole like list of them, and you can actually go online and look up the list. There's an Octonauts wiki page.
Really? Do you do that?
Yeah.
You go on there and look at those things up.
It's all about educating yourself. You gotta keep learning.
So you've been doing it a year, and so your learning curve. Like, how much better are you now than you were a year ago?
Oh, it's like 10 times better.
Okay. So how are you educating yourself? How are you doing it? What's the way you do it? Is it
Google Lens?
Okay?
It's huge.
Awesome, isn't it? I tell people all the time.
But that's how I've learned. But like once you learn that one thing, and you can kind of I need to go look up more information. A lot of it's a lot of wiki pages. There's a lot of them out there.
So is that your biggest suggestion for people to learn more about the toys is to use Google Lens?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sourcing? I think I asked this before. You're sourcing mostly at thrift stores during the week, and you still go to garage sales in the weekend?
So because I've only been doing it a year, so like during the summertime we go during for yard sales. We have tons of community yard sales around our area. We don't go to the thrift stores in our local area, so I have to drive an hour out.
Wow.
And
why is that? What is there? Your thrift store's not very good?
There aren't the toys.
There are no toys.
There's no toys.
Okay.
And so the thing that I just happened to fall into, there's none of it there.
Oh, that stinks.
So that's why yard sales work really well, because there's always going to be an overturn of toys.
Right.
But our other 3 stores that we go to, they have bag walls.
Ah, yeah. See, and we don't have that around here.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people who do toys. Gary American Arbitrage does that, and he has those bag walls.
Yeah. So I had to go an hour out.
My next question here, because this relates to me, and this is why I wanted to have you on and give me some names that you've been talking about, is I have failed to, I don't thrift as near as much as I used to, and I used to educate myself in the thrift stores because I'm not worried about going to the next garage sale. So do you find that you have more time when you're thrifting to learn more, to research more than you're out there at garage sales?
Oh yeah, very much so.
So how do you do that then? If they're in a bag, what do you do? Rip the thing open?
No. I have a hashtag, don't rip the bag.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
I get so much for slack for that, but I hate that people rip the bags open.
Okay. And do you think they're stealing the stuff?
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, you'll find it over on the shelf, like it'll have a hole in it, and so you'll go pick it up and it dumps out of the place. Now, in order to educate yourself, you start with what you know and then work from there. And then if you see something weird or interesting, look it up.
Yeah, I do that all the time. That's the one thing, and I wish I would do it more with toys. But some people, they'll they're watching my videos and they're like, "You missed this, you missed this, you missed this." And so my main source of education now is the viewers watching my show. Yep. I'm sure you've watched my show.
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell me what I'm missing? So the next segment here is you got to give me a few things that you've seen me miss because I don't want to miss them anymore. All right, I want to know some things that I need to be looking for that are kind of out of my age demo right here. Not 80s stuff, but some stuff maybe that I don't know about that's selling really well. Give me a couple.
All right, Octonauts, that's always been a big one.
Yeah, Octonauts.
All right, Wild Kratts.
Wild Kratts?
Wild Kratts is actually a spin-off. It's a cartoon that spun off of another show called Zaboomafoo.
It's definitely stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, so it was originally on PBS in the early 2000s. So, but my tip is anything that's been on PBS, look into.
Anything that's been on PBS.
Yes. Because I
Okay.
think also like Daniel Tiger, which is a spinoff from Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
It's like the puppet from Mr. Rogers.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. See, now
So-
Mr. Rogers is in my demo. All right, what
Yeah.
do you got?
So anything PBS related, I would
Okay.
I'd pick up.
Definitely look at those too.
And
Oh, wait,
then-
I got something for you
Uh-huh.
that I want you to comment on. It's something that I saw that I was like, I've never seen these before. Because I've sold Polly Pockets. Because those are, you see those and you see everybody post the Instagram stuff. I'm like, I can find that thing. And so I found a few. But this, where is it? Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on yard sales. And this is like a Polly Pocket, but it's not Polly Pocket. What is that?
It was a Thomas the Train set. So it looks exactly like a Polly Pocket, but the front of it is Thomas the Train, or I think the other one was James. And they have little pieces, and the same maker of Polly Pocket, which is Bluebird.
What do you know when they were made?
97.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So those are old.
Yes, they're
Wow.
older. Yeah.
And so old. Well,
They're
relatively
vintage.
speaking, right?
They're vintage.
And I can't remember what you sold those for, but you got to tell me what you sold for.
James, which was the red one, sold for 36, I believe, and then the Thomas one sold for 69.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's good stuff. So I'm looking back here and I see a little Nerf thing sticking out. Do you ever venture out into like Nerf guns or stuff like that?
Not really.
How about Plush? I see you sell some Plush.
Plush, yes. Another PBS show, which is Dinosaur Train.
Okay.
Anything Dinosaur Train will sell a good money.
Dinosaur Train.
Dinosaur
Plush.
Train.
So if you watch me, I love to sell plush. So what are some plush you've been finding lately that maybe I wouldn't find that you think are sell? Maybe some PBS plush or whatever.
Roly Poly Oly, which actually isn't
Okay.
PBS, it's actually Disney. It was on
Okay.
Disney Junior, and it was early 2000s, so I
right.
grew up on it.
Okay.
But anything Roly Poly Oly.
I think I've sold one or two of those, and I purely came across it by chance. What else you got besides Roly Poly Oly?
Nosy Bears.
I saw you do
But
nosy
those
bears.
are 80s too.
They're
so,
vintage,
Yeah, they're
right?
vintage. They're very,
Okay.
yeah, very vintage.
Hey now. Hey now.
But no, I found one of those in a crib that was stuffed with animals, like stuffed animals, and it happened to be in there.
All right, so my daughter started buying Squishmallows a couple years ago, and she's like, "That's worth money." When I was at a garage, I'm like, "What is this thing?" So I started looking, and I started getting a couple, and we sold a few, and now I don't find them anywhere. How's that market doing?
When I first originally started reselling, it was hot. And that was the thing to go for. That was the plush to go for. Now not so much.
Not the black cat. You never found the black cat.
I found a black cat.
You did?
I did find a black cat.
Oh,
That's one of
man.
one of my first sales I had.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to go check that out. That's a
So,
nice one.
No, so I had that, but no, it slowly died down, and it's not so much of a grab anymore. I think unless you find like a cow or something.
Now let me ask you this, because I want to get better in some of this, 2000 stuff. And are you comfortable in the 80s spotting that stuff that's a little more like I've loved to sell popples? If you saw popple, would you buy it?
I think I just got sent a couple popples. And
Oh, really?
I
Didn't know.
I didn't know what they were. I'm like, I don't remember the name of this, but I feel like I'm willing to learn.
But I think you, like what you said earlier, right? That if you see something that's just different and you haven't seen it before, you would know enough to look it up at least, I would think. All right, so I don't know if you're familiar with Wuzzles, but that's something I love. Matter of fact, I saw it today, and somebody literally bought it right in front of me, and I haven't seen it for years. But something you see out there often, like Cabbage Patch Kids and Care Bears. How do you do with Care Bears?
Care Bear sell. It doesn't matter if they're new or old.
New or old?
Yes.
Do you know the years? I always look at them because it's like 82, 83, and then it skips ahead.
It skips ahead, and then it's about 2002 to 2004.
Yeah,
and then
look at this. He's got it.
2012 to 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like those.
Yeah,
those
and then
layers.
they came out with those recent ones. I think it was a Target thing, or maybe they pushed them into Walmart too.
Walmart, yeah.
Yeah, and those sell too. Doesn't matter. I couldn't believe it because I passed up on all those newer ones. I used to check the tags, and if they weren't vintage, I wouldn't buy it. But they all sell, and they pretty much all sell for the same amount of money, unless they're like new in package kind of
And
thing.
Care Bear Cousins.
Care Bear Cousins, love them, sell them all the time. That's good. Is there any other ones out there that you want to talk about?
Veggie Tales.
All right. What do you got? What about Veggie Tales? So is that your childhood, by the way? I didn't watch Veggie Tales in it all.
It
I've never
was
bought that
I guess technically my teenage
stuff. Okay. All right.
years.
So
But
what do you need to look for?
was it Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber?
There you go.
There you go.
And those do okay for you?
Very much, yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I put Veggie Tales up, it's usually gone.
All right, let me ask you one more question that just came to my mind. Have you ever dealt with any of the large plush out there? Have you ever sold any of the big giant stuff? 'Cause I love
a lot of
that stuff.
Pokemon.
Okay,
A lot of
the big Pokemon.
Yeah, the bigger
stuff.
Pokemon. And then
Yeah.
I just picked up a giant, like, was it a 24-inch Larry the Cucumber?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so.
How much did that go for? Or you don't know because you haven't sold it yet?
No, there's actually not that many up. So
Yeah.
I had to like kind of figure out
So
the price.
interesting you mentioned VeggieTales because I like whenever I see you mention something like you pick up something that I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
I'm like, that thing is cool. And I picked it up and it's not VeggieTales, but it's a Christian airship Genesis legendary Bible adventure. And I'm like, what in the world? This thing, I think I have it listed for $40. I never saw it before, and it's like an obscure little thing out there. So those obscure ones out there, like you said, Nosy Bear, I think are interesting ones. All right, last category for toys here. I want to talk a little bit about like dolls, whether it's Barbie or Bratz or something like that. All right, so I don't know anything about dolls. Matter of fact, I avoid picking up Barbies. I bet I've sold 10 Barbies in 21 years. And I know I'm passing up big bucks. And we could do a whole video on Barbie, so I'm not asking you to do a whole video. But do you pick up Barbies? And if you do, what are the typical things you look for? And how's the best way to sell them? And where's the best place to sell
Oh boy, I usually that's a broad question.
them? Give it a shot.
So I usually try to, if I'm grabbing any Barbies, it's going like it'll be like late 80s, early 90s because that's more my era.
Because you're familiar with it, right?
Yeah,
you're not
I'm familiar
stuff
with
up from the 60s.
So, but I can look those up if I need to. But no, I usually go for Barbie accessories. That's my go-to, and I usually go for the shoes and the clothes.
So, like, if you see them in a bag, you would recognize that those are Barbie accessories, or are you buying the Barbies, taking the accessories, and selling them? Are you doing when in doubt, part it out, or are you literally buying the accessories?
I'm literally buying the accessories. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I would never recognize what a Barbie accessory was, probably, so that would be my downfall.
Yeah.
But they sell for more than the Barbies, or is it they're easily available? You find them that way, or?
It's you can find them easily, I think, but they make more money if you part them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's talk about some others. So I have recently started picking up a Monster High dolls and Bratz. I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to take the time to list them all separately and to learn it all. I think if I was a toy person, I would. So the first question is, what do you look for when you're buying Bratz, or what do you look for when you're doing Monster High? Do you list them individually, or do you lot them up, or do you do a combination of both? So tell me what's your approach to those dolls. I know I gave you 4 questions. You can handle it. Pick one and answer.
I pick up Monster High when I can find it. Okay. Because it will sell. Bratz, I part them out. Really? Always part them out.
Always part them out. But you don't do that with Monster High. No. Okay. So why? What's the difference? Is it just because of money?
Well, with Bratz, their feet aren't attached to their bodies.
Their feet aren't attached. So is that a good way to recognize? Yes. Like, I'm terrible. Sometimes I'll look at them like, those are Monster High, and they're like, no.
No, if you just see like feet in shoes, those are usually Bratz.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're chunky.
And so since that's the case, people need replacements for them because of that, and that's why you can sell.
Or there's people who are collectors out there who need specific pieces of outfits for one doll.
And so you can sell the outfit, sometimes for more than the doll. Yes. What do you do with the rest of the doll?
So you can put them in a part slot.
I like it. Perfect. All right, so here's my curveball here. So I picked these up 2 years ago and did them as a bolo. On this channel, right? Well, I don't know what channel this is on, but if it's on Commonwealth Flipper, I did it on this channel. Now, these aren't particular. You know this because I've seen you sell them. These aren't exactly bolos, right? I mean, this doesn't sell for a ton of money by itself. No. Look, right? No. Okay. Would you give me a guess of maybe what that one would sell for?
That would probably sell for like $8 or $9.
By the way, I don't think I told the viewers what they are. What are these?
Blazing the Monster Machine.
All right. Turner used to play with these. And so we recognized them. And my wife told me, these are going for good money. I'm like, really? And so the very next yard sale, very next week I went, I found a box full of them. And there was a pink one, maybe. There's a ram one. And there's a sheep or something like that. Yep. And there was one other one. And I think maybe the sheep. I can't remember. There's a couple bolos out there that are really good. The rhino. There you go. Okay. And so we got them all. And we were selling them like crazy. And I got so much. I looked on there. There was hardly any of them listed. And there was a ton of solds, but only certain ones only had 10 or 12 listed. I got more hate sent to me that I just exposed a hidden bolo that nobody knew about. Okay, so I don't think you heard about these from me.
No.
You didn't? All right, that makes me feel good. I was hoping you weren't stealing my stuff and putting it out.
No.
I'm just teasing you.
I hate to
So
say.
how did you figure out that these were a seller, and are they still selling? Because I'm having a hard time with it now. Although I will say, these just aren't the very good ones.
No. Well, these are the more common ones.
Right.
So you got Blaze and his buddy. Yeah, these are the most common. These are common characters. But I just happened to find 10 bags at a thrift.
10 bags.
10 bags at a thrift store. I think they're like $2.99 a piece. Like
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you're looking for the ram. You're looking for the pink dinosaur. There's a blue dinosaur. But some of those, I'm selling a handful of those for $25, $30 a piece.
Yeah. Crazy. And they're die cast, y'all. They're not plastic. Do you ever sell? I think you sell the plastic, the bigger ones that transform.
Yeah, the push down the.
And I sell them. Those are hard sellers for me, but they sell.
Yeah, but I think the majority of these are from 2014.
Okay.
So
what is your biggest tip? If you have to give a tip for people that really want to get into this, or what has really helped you out the most? What's just one thing we can share?
Digging in.
Digging in. All right. So that means I love this too, but sometimes at a garage sale, I want to go to the next one. So I'm not going to dig through every little tiny item. But since you're niched down, if you see a box of toys, you're staying there for a while.
I'll park it for a minute and actually go
All right, and you're able to recognize a lot more and more as the days go by.
Yes.
What are some things you found just by taking the time to dig down there?
Oh, jeez. Well, I think Blaze was honestly one of the first ones. And then, what else have I found? Transformers. Yeah, I didn't know anything about Transformers. But that's a whole other broad spectrum.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But yeah, if you find Transformer pieces, they'll sell.
Okay.
Like if you can find them in a lot, like I found one and a guy was looking for 2 years for a piece.
For one piece, and nobody had it listed.
And nobody else had it, and I just happened to list it.
And you listed it as one piece.
It was in a lot.
Awesome. Oh, it was in a lot.
It was in a lot.
So you allowed them to do the research and say, hey, I need that piece. Did he ask you to sell him one piece?
No, he bought the whole thing.
I can't stand that one. I got a picture of it. Like, can you
he
sell
bought
me
the whole
one
bag.
piece?
Yeah.
How much have I given? I'll give you $1 for this, right? Okay, that leads me to my last question. Where did you have that item listed?
I had it on Mercari.
In Mercari. All right. So since you're a Mercari seller, you're selling now on eBay. So do you find that toys are selling better on Mercari, or are you finding success in eBay? So give us a little idea about that.
No, I'm finding success on eBay. Definitely. It's different. My inventory is bigger on Mercari right now compared to my eBay. So hopefully that'll balance out. But no, I'm selling toys.
Well, you should be using my Flyp. You should sign up on my Flyp here. I can't believe you haven't done it.
Crosslist, I know.
All right, so Mercari's, how many items do you have listed on Mercari?
I have over 500 items on Mercari.
Okay, and just give me an idea of an average daily sale. Like, not a sale, but how many?
How many sales do I have? Yeah. Usually it'll be like 2 or 3.
Okay, and then on eBay, how many do you have listed?
I have 160.
Okay, so you got a ways.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Are
you actually listing them on both places?
No.
Okay.
No.
Really? You're picking and choosing?
I'm picking and choosing.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the, this wasn't part of this, but now I got to know. What's the method to the choice?
It's if I know that it needs a broader audience because it's more a specific item. It's a more collectible.
Gotcha.
It'll go up on eBay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But if it's a common thing,
if it's a common thing, like Paw Patrol, I'll put it over on Mercari.
What's your goal as far as toys towards eBay and Mercari? Are you trying to go towards more eBay, or are you just going to keep what you're doing right now?
I'm trying to work my way more into eBay.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to have those bigger sales.
Okay. Shae, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I appreciate it. All right, so really quick before I let you go, give me one more plug. Tell me your YouTube. Tell me your Instagram. Are they all the same name?
Yes.
All right, what do you got? So it's MD.
MD Picker.
Okay, and there's I don't know, I guess there's spaces in YouTube, but there's not any others, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and you're on TikTok, and you're on Instagram,
yes, and
you're on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining us, and I got to end the show like I always do. Just want to say thanks to Shae, and I can't wait to see you next time. Arbitrage. I'm kidding. We won't do that.